How has your stay at the bathhouse been so far? That's excellent. So, you are here for a medical treatment. And what is it that we are treating today? I see. Excellent. So, as part of your prescription, you have already partaken in the frigidarium. Good, so you've started with the cold bath, and then you did go to the tepidarium. Okay, lukewarm. And the caldarium, which is very close to here. You can hear the crackling of the fires used to heat the waters all day long. There's just a beautiful smoky scent around our treatment area, is there not? And did you happen to also do the final step? The cold plunge? I see. Very good. So, as we are following the prescription of Asclepiades, in addition to hot and cold baths, we are also going to be doing a nice long massage. That is one of the best prescriptions for pain and illness. In addition to that, since you have done your 4 stages of bathing, I'd like to apply some moisturizer to your skin before we move on to the massage. Excellent, thank you. So I have just a little bowl here of some lanolin, and I will be applying a thick layer of lanolin to the skin to keep all the moisture in. So let's see. Good. Now I want you to just stay still for me. Just apply a good helping of lanolin. The smoky fire scent does indeed help cover the smell. Just applying the lanolin. Very thick sort of solid. And from there, we can just gently massage that into the skin. I find that the invigorating massage with the little crackles of the fires makes for a beautiful environment for rest, respite, and healing. In the past, some of the teachings of our great physicians were unpleasant, to say the least. But this bathhouse is a welcome participant of Asclepiades' teachings. As you know, he often recommends hot and cold baths takes a little bit of time to work the lanolin into the skin since it has such a thick consistency. But then when it is worked into the skin, you will look glowy, dewy, and your skin will be protected from the elements. Wonderful. I think that that'll do. Now, our prescription requires us to use copious amounts of oil for our massage. Now, I'm going to use just a little bit to start. There we are. Beautiful, healing oil of our olives. Be using this all over your body to help heal it from its illness. Beautifully fragrant. Now, let's start with the head, the seat of thought. Our heads are so heavy under so much stress. Strife, but with a good amount of wine, a beautiful song or two, and a little bit of massage, and it almost feels as if our worries were not there in the first place. Now I trust that you will take your prescription very seriously and imbibe in all of the wine that Rome has to offer with our festivals and the bright, loud sounds of music. Towards a lyre or a lute, the horns and the sistra, and little tap 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 taps of the beat, all makes for an incredible symphony of sound. Hard for any Roman to not enjoy. Very good. Let me get just more. We have these great jugs of oil. Use so often, so much. It is a wonder that we don't run out of our oil, considering how much we use it. From even our daily bathing routine, with our olive oil and our bath, and then scraping it off. It is a wonder that we have enough at all. How is this pressure for you? Excellent. You let me know if it's too much or not enough. This is meant to be therapeutic. Busy today, isn't it? I say that as if it isn't busy every day. People of all walks of life, people of all classes come to bathe and relax, to just let their worries go for a bit before setting off back into their lives, a clean body, a clean soul. Good. Now, I'd like to do a bit of work on the face while I have just a little bit of oil left over. Not enough to take away our lanolin, but instead just add just a little bit of slide. There we go. Excellent. There. How is this? It's wonderful. Good. Deep, reinvigorating massage. I trust that you will feel so much better when you leave the bathhouse than when you came in. Very good. Your eyes look just a little bit more bright. Your face just a little bit less tense, more relaxed. I think we will move just very gently down the neck here. the little bit of remaining oil on my hands just to smooth down the neck. Be very careful about the front. Yeah. How does that feel? Excellent. Good. And then if I circle my fingers a little bit, not with pressure necessarily, just gliding over the skin along the side of the neck. I find that perhaps it's a little uncomfortable when doing both sides at the same time. I do wonder why that is. But when circling, do just one side before switching to the other. As if you could just turn your head. There, much better. That we have the long length of the neck. Very good. If we smooth down just a bit, then we can come into the upper chest, or at least what we can reach. Let's see. There. Very good. I may have to get just a bit more oil in a moment. I did say we use a copious amount. Excellent. Very good. And the muscles just in the shoulders, just behind the chest, these are often very tense, very tight, especially for those that labor in toil. But we will just work to release the tension and pressure and heal your body. Heal it so that you can work and play without any pain. I think I'll get our bit of oil when we work on the arms and the hands. I think we will need a good amount for that. Now, let me get a bit more. Let us start with this arm here. And we start in the shoulder. I find the arms on many of the patrons in need of healing tend to have very, very hard, very constricted muscle in especially the shoulders and down into the arm. For so many of us, we use our arms and our backs and our feet in ways that perhaps they were not meant for. And we come down along the upper arm. Kneading and flowing my hands along the skin glides effortlessly with the aid of the oil. Excellent. And down to the elbow here. Joint that I see tends to be quite inflamed. And down along the lower portion of the arm, the forearm. Kneading the skin, release the tension, promote our healing. I trust that before you leave, you will have the oil removed. Is that correct? Excellent, yes. Just by the frigidarium, right when you enter the bathhouse, where they apply the oil on your skin to begin with. There, your attendants will take their tools and run it along the skin to scrape off the oil, the sweat accumulated during your time in the bathhouse. And the hands here. These hands have seen quite a bit of work, I imagine. Yes. Many of us have. I do have my luck in that my hands reflect my line of work. They're always soft from the oil in which I work with. The skin is always smooth. And then with the remnants of the oil, we'll work into the shoulder on this side. How is this pressure? Excellent. Thank you. It does look as if it may storm. It was such a storm. Such a storm the night before. Winds howling, trees bending. But when I woke this morning and walked to the bathhouse, I found that most things were as they should be. So perhaps that is why we've seen quite a few people in the bathhouse today. As much as our shoes are waterproof, that doesn't mean that our legs are not. And down from the upper arm, we move to the elbow. And into the forearm. This arm is a little less tense than the other. Is this your non-dominant arm? I see. I also see that frequently where one favors one side over the other, and the dominant side tends to be more difficult to work with. And into the hands, using my fingers to knead along the expanse of tendon, of muscle. Excellent. Now, from the chest, I work into the abdomen. Many of our patrons appreciate this quite a bit, so I won't need much oil, just the remnants of what I used from your arms. And here we work primarily in these circles, these wide, sweeping circles. I prefer not to put pressure on the rib cage. I work with the top of the chest, but the rib cage, I feel, can be quite sensitive. And I do not wish to cause problems. It can be a painful area if one exudes a little too much pressure. But the abdomen, with its soft ridges and contours, that takes a little more force, even if we do not use it. But what I mean to say is it is a little less sensitive than the bony expanse of the chest. How is this pressure? Excellent. Yes, this is a favorite area for many. It is something interesting. I know that I often will rub my own abdomen in circles when it isn't feeling well, and just the pressure. The pressure is grounding, is reassuring. It's healing in and of itself. So many of us feel more relaxed and more comfortable with the warmth of the hands on the abdomen. we will work from the hips down to the feet, and I work with one leg and then the other. And these powerful tools of the body also often are tense, are sore and sensitive. But a careful massage with a skilled hand is more than enough to help soothe the tension and woe in the leg. Use long gliding motions, long sweeps of the hand. As I work down the body, many of my patrons do tend to fall asleep, and you're more than welcome to do that. Rest is one of the best healers, and one of the reasons why Asclepiades recommends music to help induce sleeping, help lull the patient into a slumber. So if you so choose to fall asleep, then I believe that would be quite beneficial for you. Working the whole of the leg. And when I am around the knee, just being careful of behind the joint, working primarily to the sides of it. When one has a lot of knee pain, the sides are a wonderful place to massage. With so much walking in our daily life, our knees are under quite a bit of stress, but we can help relieve that pain with some of our massage. Is this pressure okay for you? Wonderful. Now we move into the feet, and this area I tend to spend a bit of time on its own, and because this one responds to a bit more pressure and a little less slide, I won't be using more oil, just the remnants of what we have. But the base of the foot, the bottom of it, our foundation upon which we stand. This often is a great place for kneading into, or even using my knuckles to work into the tissue. clouds on the horizon have lightened just a little, but perhaps on your way home, we will get another bout of rain. I think we could only benefit from it. Our crops do need the rain. How is this pressure on your foot? Wonderful. I tend to have a bit of an intuition in that I have worked with so many patrons and their muscles, and oftentimes the body part guides me as to what pressure is needed. If it is particularly tense, then I must start with a light pressure before I work into a deep therapeutic pressure. But the more pliable areas can benefit with a more medium, light to medium. Working in with the toes. Smoothing over the entire area. I trust that you'll take care when you leave to go back to the frigidarium as to not slip. But if you do not worry. There are many that do. Just a bit of oil. Starting with the hip. Working down the leg with our sweeping, gliding motions. Your skin will be wonderfully soft and supple by the end of our treatment. Just allow these soothing crackles of the fires lull you. Let the drone of the markets, of the bathhouse, of all of the people allow you to rest, to sleep. We work working along the sides instead of on the bone or behind. I trust this pressure is pleasant as well. Just finishing down the lower leg with the back muscle, just kneading and lifting, gliding and smoothing. Just allow this massage to lull you to sleep, a beautiful healing sleep. Now, finally, the foot. So we work into the foot with primarily our kneading and perhaps our knuckling as well. When you do finally leave the bathhouse, your feet will feel reinvigorated, almost anew, I think. And I think with regular healing treatments, we can see quite a bit of improvement in your health, especially if you follow your prescription to the letter. I think you will quite enjoy what Asclepiades has prescribed for you. This foot is just a little easier to work with. Again, with the dominant side being your other side. And this one is a little softer in consistency. It accepts the pressure with more willingness. So take these last few minutes and really relish in the massage. Now when I finish with your feet, I like to use the very last of the oil on my hands on your back. So I will have you sit up and turn round. That way we can use up the last of our oil and you can have a slower realization, slower come to reality, go back to the real world. That way you won't have to immediately snap out of your nice relaxed state and take a moment to come back to the rest of the world. Very good. Now, with the last bits of oil I have on my hands, I would like to just apply to the back of your body. If you could just sit for me. Yes, take your time, I know. And if you could just turn round. Good. And now with long sweeping motions, I'll just apply our oil to your back. And as I rub the oil into your back, I want you to just get reacquainted with the world around you. Listen to the crackles of the open fires. Smell the fragrant, herbaceous scent of the oil. Listen to the cacophony of sounds around us. Very good. You feel a little more alert? Just go a little bit longer. Excellent. Now you can turn around and I will just wipe off the remaining oil on my hands. There. Excellent. So now that you are back you will be going back to the frigidarium, and you'll have an attendant scrape the olive oil off of your skin, and that way you won't go back into the world slick and shiny with oil. And then from there, I want you to seek out the festivals, the music of the city, and partake in as much wine as you can stand. Make sure to have a balanced diet. Make sure to be moderate on your meat and consume many of our fine fruits and vegetables and perhaps some bread. Everything in moderation. And I promise, should you follow your prescription, your health should flourish. Is there anything else I can do for you? Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming to the Bathhouse, and I hope you have a good rest of your stay. Thank you so much.